First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Thawadi Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for allowing me to do another video through the Spirit. Thawadi Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for giving us the truth as worms. Double honor to our apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect. And I just want to touch on this Daniel 7 and verse 11, because I didn't really touch on it that much this week at camp. And I don't remember what I said, but I didn't hear the little horn. I heard, I thought the brother said, I heard a horn, but I was thinking of it the wrong way. And I don't remember what I said exactly, but I realized I didn't touch on it correctly. So I wanted to touch on it and, shed some light on this scripture, because I don't remember what I said exactly, but I personally don't think I said it correctly. So I want to speak on it, and so I don't, brothers aren't confused out there, and Salakia, if, whatever I said, if it was off, or if I just, because I don't remember exactly what I said, but I feel that it was off. So I want to touch on it in Salakia for that misunderstanding. But I want to go over this real quick. It's Daniel 7 and verse 11. And this whole chapter is dealing with the 4 kingdoms that shall reign in the planet Earth. Starting with Babylon. Well, it's because it speaks about the lion with wings, which is actually the Assyrian / Babylonian Empire, because it stood upon its feet, which the wings was which that just represents the Nebuchadnezzar when it stood upon his feet. But Babylon and the Assyrian Empire became one. Some people call it the Neo Babylonian Empire, or Neo Assyrian Babylonian Empire. From them to Persian and Medes, which is a bear, which had the 3 bones in his mouth, dealing with Egypt, Lebanon, and Babylon. The places it took over, and then you have the Greeks, which is the leopard, and Alexander's 4 generals, the notable ones being the Seleucus, Ptolemy, Lysimachus, and Cassandra, which he had other generals, but the scriptures only focus on the notable ones, and specifically the Seleucid line and the Ptolemies, where you go Daniel's 11th chapter. Then later on to the Roman Empire, and then with those European powers, the horns, which came back even to now, the same beast that John saw. Those same European nations joined up with them again in these times. And then it speaks about the little horn, which came out of one of the horns, which was Britain. There's a lot of history to unpack on here, and this verse specifically mentions the little horn. And we're gonna read it, and I just want to double check something real quick. Let's double check this. Dealing with the Persians and Medes. Yep, Babylon, Egypt, and Libya. But nonetheless, let's read it. This is Daniel 7 and verse 11. And I beheld then, because of the and I'm reading in KJV and in the NLT. And it says, I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, and I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. And let's read it in NLT. It says, I continue to watch, because I could hear the little horn boastfully speech, the boastful speech. I kept watching till the 4th beast was killed, and his body was destroyed by fire. Yeah, because that's how this last and final beast is going to go out. And who is that little horn talking about? America. How's America and this last final beast going to go out? By fire. Did Rome go out by fire? No. Jake ended up coming in there and taking over. Jake ended up taking over that. The Western Roman Empire fell and the Eastern Roman Empire came up, with as a Holy Roman Empire. Jake got in there and took over. Did Rome go down with fire? No. But this Rome, this one will. And that's what we're going to touch on. This place, which is the lake of fire, this place will be the lake of fire. You dumb niggas want to talk about something else. You can go play with yourself. But this place is where the destruction would be, because it would be the place of the little horn, which is where America will be burnt up to a crisp. That is what the prophecy states. Babylon is going to be burned up to a motherfucking crisp. To nothing is left. It's here. The lake of fire will be here. It's nowhere else. It's nowhere else. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Let's go to, there's a few scriptures that mentions this place is gonna be burned with fire. Let's get this. This is Revelation 14, and let's start at. Let's start at 5. And there, start at 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwelled on the earth, and every nation to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. Yeah, because the everlasting gospel has been preached, as it says in NLT, the good news, which this gospel has been teach across the four corners of the earth. Why? For two reasons. Israel has been scattered across the four corners of the earth. That's why it says in every nation, kindred and tongue and people. But also these other nations can hear the judgment. But specifically, it's because Israel was scattered throughout the entire world. That's why the gospel went out through the entire planet Earth. Let's get that. This is Matthew 24. Because you Christians will jump up. Oh, that's everybody. Everybody got the gospel. Yeah, everybody hears the gospel. But the gospel of salvation is only for Israel. The God is because Israel has been scattered through all nations across the world. This is Matthew 24 and verse 14. In this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And you see that. You see the end is vastly approaching. And you see the end is really here. We're at the beginning stages of it. It says, really the end started when Yahushua left. So we're really in the end. We're at the end of days, saying with a loud voice, fear Yahweh and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. Worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of the water. And the angels proclaiming that. And are we not proclaiming that? Are we not proclaiming that to the world? But the angels proclaiming this, because that's what's supposed to be proclaimed through the planet Earth. And that's what is being proclaimed through the planet Earth through the prophets. And there follow, and simultaneously, as the word being preached out, what's next? Because after the word gets preached out, what's next? What's the next step? The destruction. And there follow another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Which is where? Where is Babylon the Great? Where is Babylon? It's here. That's America. We're in Babylon. One of the main centers where the gospel would so happily be preached. One of the main points of where the gospel of the kingdom of heaven will be preached. Because where's the 1/3 and the 2/3 here in the Americas? Even and how does the gospel go out the whole world? Through the internet. Verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Because what is the ultimate destruction? Just like we read in Daniel's, what is the judgment or the destruction for Babylon the Great, or for the little horn, for the beast? It's fire. This place will be burned up with fire. It'll be destroyed by fire. And what fire specifically? Thermonuclear fire. That is how this place will go out. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whoso receiveth the mark of his name, which is that MOTB, that see him. And these people they're gonna die, and it means they're gonna die in the lake of fire. Now, are their spirits gonna be tortured there forever? No, their spirits will not be there forever, but they will die there. They will be burned up. That does not mean that their spirits will have no rest. Everyone dies and goes back into the spiritual realm. Stop it. Like Michael Jordan said, stop it. You need help. But that's the judgment for this beast. For the beast and the little horn, what is the ultimate judgment? Thermonuclear fire, destruction. That's how this place is going to go out. Babylon the Great is going to go out by fire. Let's ask ChatGPT. Oh shit, it's already there. According to the Bible, how is Babylon the Great going to be destroyed? Oh, they already got the symbol. It got the little fire symbol. It says, according to the Bible, particularly in the book of Revelation, Babylon the Great is portrayed as a powerful, corrupt, and idolatrous system. Or let's see. Entity that will be dramatically and violently destroyed by divine judgment. Here's a summary of its destruction in the description. It gives a little fire symbol. It says divine judgment and sudden destruction. I'm gonna get right to. Let's get it. Let's see if it says it. I just want to see if it just straight out says it. Gives a little symbols. Okay. Let's do this. Let's just type that in. Okay, there it goes. Because it wasn't saying it specifically. It was just saying divine judgment, this and that. I just want to get it directly. It says, yes. So I asked, so will it be destroyed? So will it be destroyed by fire? It says, yes, according to the Bible, specifically in Revelation 17:18, Babylon will be destroyed by fire as a symbol of God's final judgment. Yep. And we'll get these scriptures. Because, going back to that Daniel 7, this is how that beast is going to be destroyed. That's what's going to be the end all be all of this beast. That fire, just like it said, and ancient Rome was not burned to a crisp, but this bitch will. What they get that? That's the ESV. This says Revelations 18 and verse 8 in the ESV. It says she will be burned up with fire, for mightily is the Lord power who judges her. So let's get it. Oh yeah, it says right there in the KJV. It says Revelations 18 and verse 8 says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai who judges her. So yeah, this place is going to be burned up by fire. This beast, because this is that same beast which John saw. This is the same beast that's going to be burned up with fire. Who stemmed out of that beast? Babylon. Because when Babylon falls, when this place falls, everything else is going to crumble. All the systems, all the things which are set up with this place, it's all going to fall apart, because this is the epicenter. This is the capital. When this place collapses, it's going to be a domino effect. When all the allies turn against this place and the destruction falls upon here, it's going to be a complete domino effect on the rest of the world's kingdoms. And that's why Yahushua and his elect are going to establish their governments throughout the world. And because you other nations think that y'all are supposed to come up next. No siree. No siree. The next nation to rule, the next kingdom to be established, is the kingdom of Israel. Let's get this, and then I'm gonna get one more and close off. It's not a super long lesson, something I just want to touch on real quick, because I didn't touch on it at camp. And just to say how this place is going to be destroyed. It is going to be burned by fire. Babylon will be burned with fire. The beast, the little horn, all in one is going to be burned by fire. That's how this place is going to go out. It's just Revelation 17 and verse 15. And he said unto me, the water which thou sawest were the whore cities, are people and multitude and nations and tongues, which is here. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, because all their allies, the European Union, is going to turn against this place, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give the kingdom unto the beast, unto the word, and to the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So the Lord's word is going to be fulfilled. The Lord is going to destroy this place to a complete crisp, and not only through the nuclear fire is the Heavenly Father going to do it, which I'll get that too, but also by the chariots, because we get the nukes. Because the Bible gives a visible description of those nukes. This is Revelation 9 and verse 14, and saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound at the great river Euphrates. And you see the Euphrates River is last time we checked, that shit was dried up, and it's probably completely dried up. For what purpose is that? For that World War III. And the 4th angel, and the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for the slay the third part of men. Who's that? The wicked. And the number of the army, which the World War III is going to lead up to what? These missiles being shot off. The number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, which is 200 million missiles. It's not physical troops. It's talking about missiles. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth, and of brimstone, and of the heads of the horses as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issues fire and smoke and brimstone, which is what? That nuclear warhead. That's how you know that's not speaking about physical troops. This is speaking about a mechanism, if you will. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issue out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, which is what? In that warhead, and in their tail, because what? The tail is that propulsion system. Because you have to put in perspective, John does not have the words that we have nowadays. John has the words that he's using right here. Tail, lion, mount. He's not fucking saying, he's not going to say Jason. He's not going to say, look, I see a ICBM nuclear missile flying through the sky. It's not how the Bible's written, man. It's not going to say that. It says for the tail, for the tail were like unto serpent, because what? That smoke that is left behind. And the head with them, they do hurt. Yeah, because that nuclear warhead. That warhead. When that warhead touches home, is pain. That's the next step. So John seen it. John seen the missiles being shot over to here, and the destruction coming after. Because nothing, fucking fire and hell, man. It says the rest of the men which were not killed by the plagues yet repented not. Yeah, because he's seeing these niggas in their bunkers hiding away, the elites. Repented not of their works of their hands. Which are their works? The things that they've done. The destruction of the planet Earth, the enslavement of the children of Israel, the destruction they brought to Israel, the destruction they brought to the planet. All things in one, man, that these Edomites and these other nations, the elites of them, have done. That they should not worship devils and idols and of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their theft. Yeah, and that's Esau Edom, chiefly Esau Edom, and they're not going to repent. So that's dealing. Let's get this and close off. This is Isaiah 65 and verse. And you know, there's more scriptures that go into this place being burned up by fire. It's Isaiah 34. You know how they shall come down upon Idumea. You know, there's a bunch, but we're just getting some of the main points. This is Isaiah 66 and verse 15, and it says, For behold, the Lord cometh with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger and fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So right there, let's see what it says in the NLT. It says, see, the Lord Yahweh is come with fire, and his swift chariots roar like a whirlwind. He will bring punishment with his fury of his anger, and of the flaming fire of his rebuke, of his hot rebuke. The Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, will punish the world by fire, right there. And by his sword he will judge the earth, and many will be killed by him. Whew. And who's going to do that? Yahushai. When you go to Isaiah 63, who's going to do all this? Who is all this vengeance going to come upon? Edom, Idumea. So it's going to be the destruction of the nuclear missiles with the chariots, man. There's going to be a lot of destruction happening upon Babylon the Great because of all this wickedness. So going back to that Daniel 7, just touching back on it. This is Daniel 7 and verse 11. And we're going to read the next verses, down. Daniel 7 and verse 11. And I beheld because of the violence of the great, because of the voice. Actually, let's read it in LT. It says, I continue to watch because I could hear the little horn, boastful speech. I kept watching until the fourth beast was killed and his body was burned by fire. The other three beasts had their authority taken from them, but they were allowed to live a while longer. Yeah, because these other nations are gonna be allowed to continue their lives and continue their lives in the kingdom of heaven after their 1,000 years. As my vision continue, but what? They're going to be taken out of their power. These other nations are going to be taken out of their power. But this place, Babylon the Great, this place is going to be completely destroyed. And ultimately, you Edom, and this, just a side note, you Edomites after the 1,000 years will be burned up also. You're going to be burned up. Just how this place is going to go out, you're going to go out that same way. In 1,000 years, when the kingdom of heaven is being established, after 1,000 years, you Edomites will be burnt up and completely gone. As my vision continued, that night I saw one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven, and he approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. So this is Yahushua receiving his authority and his honor and his glory for what? Going on that cross. The same thing John seen in Revelation, the 5th chapter. He was given authority and honor and sovereignty over all the nations of the world, so that the people of every nation, every race and nation and language would obey him. His rule is eternal. It will never end. His kingdom will never be destroyed. Because what? That is the kingdom of Israel being established on the planet Earth forever and ever. That kingdom will never be ever taken out ever again. Because what happened? When Solomon had the kingdom, what eventually happened? The kingdom was destroyed. The kingdom was taken from him. But this time, when Yahushua reclaims the kingdom once again, that kingdom will never be taken away from him. This is verse 15. And I Daniel, this is still in NLT, I Daniel was troubled by all I had seen, and my visions terrified me. So I approached one of those standing besides the throne and asked him what it all means. So Daniel, he's still in the vision. He goes up to the angel and said, "What's going on?" He's like, "What is happening?" He explained it to me like this: the 4 huge beasts represent 4 kingdoms that will arise from the earth. But in the end, the holy people, which is who? Israel, of the Most High, will be given the kingdom, and they will rule forever and ever. So right there, the kingdom of heaven will be given unto the children of Israel. The NLT says it better: the saints shall take the kingdom. And who are the saints? Who is the holy people? Who are the saints and who are the holy people? Let's get it. And we'll close off with that. Psalms. Because after this place gets destroyed, who is next up? What kingdom is next? Who got next? As Jake said, who got next? We got next. And a serious note, we actually do have next. We are the next kingdom that is going to be established on the planet Earth. No matter how you feel about it, nigga. This is Psalms 58 and verse 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when they see his vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. That's not what I wanted, but that's good too. This is what I wanted. This is Psalms 50. I believe it's Psalms 50. Let me check my notes. Bear with me. Psalms 50 and 5. Psalms 50 and 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. and heaven shall declare his righteousness, for Yahweh for Yahweh is judge himself. Salah, hear, O my people, I will speak, O Israel, I will testify against thee. I am Yahweh, even thy power. Yeah, because who is the holy people? Israel. Israel is the holy people. The children of Israel are the holy people of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's it. And that is who the kingdom of heaven is set up for. And that's who it's going to be set up for. And that is what's going to be established after this beast gets thrown down by fire. After this place gets thrown down by fire, Israel will be established as the rightful rulers of this planet, because they were given that. And let's see what this Ezekiel says. Ezekiel 39 and verse 7. So I will make an holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. Yeah, so